Good morning. It is Tuesday, June 2nd, and I'm here for Bed Talk from Bed Talk number 53. Here, still in the middle of the pandemic and all sorts of other things going on right now. I'll just leave it at that for the moment. And what I want to talk to you about today is children. Whether they're your children or someone else's children, we don't all have children. Some of us had children and they are grown. It doesn't matter whether you've had children, but I want you to think about children in the context of our community's children, our world's children, those people in our lives who are particularly special to us, the people that we have the opportunity to impact and help grow and develop. Now, if you have kids, this is really going to hit home because I know that in my coaching, when I bring up this topic, this is when I get sworn at the most. And that's invoking the perspective of our children, and particularly this question: what would your children say? Another version of that is sort of the sarcastic version is, wouldn't your children be proud? And what I'm talking about is I want you to imagine that today, yesterday, and tomorrow, with maybe more intention, that every single thing you did, didn't do, said, even thought, was communicated to your children as a way of being, living, interrelating, leading. So imagine that everything you do, everything you say, even every thought you have, is like being infused into your children as a way to live, lead, and interrelate. And I wonder, what would they say? What would they say? You know, right now we're in this zone of so much finger pointing. And this is not about sides. The world, at least the US, there's so much finger pointing going on. And I can't even begin to jump into the sides. There's so many sides, and sides create pointing edges, which we're experiencing more and more every day. I just want you to think about that question: what would your children say? So even that point of driving down the road and another driver does something that gets you upset and you spout off at them, or that comment you make to someone who's standing in line based upon the way they look or the way they're dressed, or maybe sometimes the way they smell. You know, every single thought, imagine every thought, every word, every action being communicated to your child, and just wondering, what would they say? I really believe that the world would show up differently. Each one of us would show up differently if we thought that every day. The reason I know that is when I ask my clients and sometimes friends questions about how their children would perceive their actions or their decisions or their path in life, whatever it is, that's where I usually get sworn at. Something like, Jeff, why did you have to bring them into this? Because see, we don't often think of it that way. We think we live in this world of isolation, and it doesn't matter whether our children are 3 months old or 13 years old or 30 years old, as my son turned 30 today. So ask yourself, what would your children say? And how might that change how you show up tomorrow? And what you do and what you say and what you think, and how you live and how you lead and how you interrelate. That's my thought or question for the day. So be blessed, stay safe, keep taking care of each other, and by all means stay connected. And I'll see you tomorrow.